Are you a network marketer that is stuck because you've got hardly any spare time? You're a busy boy or a busy girl, right? You're like, Richard, if I could just get more time, I'd be able to build my business far bigger. And if I could build a bigger business, that would then give me the results and the income to say I've got now more spare time. But how do I crack that code? Which comes first? I'd love to give you some tips on what worked for me and is working for the people I'm teaching in network marketing to balance a really busy schedule, but still be super productive and get great results in any network marketing business. I'd love to teach you that, so stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So I did some really great things in network marketing. I'm a full-time coach in the industry now. But when I was building a team in the field like you, I was a #1 international income earner, sponsored 750 people, and very quickly I was working full-time from home. But there was a period of time where I was working 80-hour weeks in the business that I already owned. It was eating away my time and I could barely find time to build a business. The only hours I had left were really unsociable. I couldn't really get much response from people, so something had to change. So I had to carve out a little extra time and use the time I had really effectively, which is what I'm going to talk to you about right now. Let's dive in. So, #1, what can you chunk together to gain back some time? So for example, because I was so busy, and you may have experienced this too, I was making more mistakes. I wasn't very prepared. You may find, like me, for example, I was having to go to the shops like 3, 4, 5 times a week to pick up lunch, to pick up dinner. And what I should have done and what I did do is on a weekend, I was like, okay, I'm going to take 10 minutes. I'm going to plan out the meals for the family and I'm going to order that and pick it up in one sitting, right? Call past the shopping, they put it in the car or they deliver it to the door. So right there and then, instead of me getting back 30, 40 minutes later after work, I was able to gain those minutes back by not having to divert my route, go shopping and then come back. I gained that time back. That's an example, just one, of chunking something that you're doing multiple times a week that you could really just do it in one sitting. Look for the opportunity. You could maybe make a list of these things, like where am I repeating myself over and over again with a little bit of preparation. If I could just take a breath, where could I gain some of that time back? That's a great way to help. #2, remove what is not serving you. This may be certain time in certain relationships. It may be certain hobbies or habits that you've just kind of settled into. Take a step back. Look at what you're putting your time into. And a great piece of advice I can give you here would be to trace your last 24 hours or your next 24 hours if your memory is shot because you're just so busy and stressed, right? Hour by hour, what did you do or what are you going to do? And you'll find that when you review that kind of schedule, it's amazing how often you're like, I got dragged into social media, or I had to take a phone call from this friend that's always take and never give, right? Certain relationships, certain activities, maybe I watched 4 episodes of Netflix. I could have just watched 1 and done some business work, right? You'll start to see these opportunities where there's things that you can remove that aren't really serving you, or you could still keep them, but just do a little bit less of them and free up some time to work on your business. 2 more points I want to make. The last one's really important. Next one is I would always encourage you to plan tomorrow today as a minimum. If you've got a calendar and I look at it and you haven't planned out hour by hour what you're going to do, you're just really going to stress yourself out. I encourage you to have time in there for your business, specifically what you're going to do. And I also encourage you to balance that with time for yourself, your family, what's important to you. I'm not of the attitude of hustle for 5 years until you make it, right? I just don't believe that time is the most precious resource. So you shouldn't sacrifice that for anything, not money, not anything. Time is non-replaceable, non-replenishable. So I recommend that to keep yourself sane and to keep yourself happy, which is more important than anything, and healthy, have time for business, have time for personal, and don't feel guilty because you don't have to mix the two. Keep them segmented so you can put the phone away and not feel like, oh, I should be building my business. No, that's not in the schedule, okay? Same with the other way around. Final point I want to make is when you are building the business, focus on what actually works. Don't just make a list and work through it. That's not effective. What's going to, #1, generate interest, or #2, convert that interest to an actual sale or sign up? That's what you should be doing. So if you look at your calendar, you think about the work that you've done this last 24 hours, think about when I was working on my business, was I actually generating interest and converting interest, like moving it further down to a sale or sign up? Or was I scrolling on social media? Was I getting dragged into 25 different ads? Was I checking emails and going over here, then going over there, and then realizing I wasted time? If anything like that occurred, that's good, because you have an opportunity to make some significant improvements with the same time that you already have available. So I've given you a bunch of different ways there that you can really be more productive on a busy schedule, gain great results, even if you're busy in network marketing. I hope it's given you some great value. If you like or comment or share this video, it makes it more visible to other network marketers, so I appreciate if you want to do that, only of course if you enjoyed it. And if you want more from me, like I have the answers for most network marketers in terms of what they're stuck on, in terms of generating leads, getting a team, building great results, right? That is all inside my Facebook group. So it's free. So literally all you've got to do is you'll see a link somewhere in the comments or the description or maybe even the top corners. You're able to click there, request an invite. I'll send the invite straight over to you. Ask to join my Facebook group. You know what a Facebook group is, right? There's no tricks involved, right? It's a Facebook group. Join the group. I'll approve you personally. You can ask me anything you want on the way into the group. I'll give you a direct and honest answer. Also, inside the group, tips, techniques, tactics that no one else is teaching out there. Specifically, I love to teach using leverage lead generation using video. That's in there, and a whole bunch of other trainings that you can dive into straight away for free. They're literally waiting for you. Literally, how many times I want to say literally? Just request that invitation. I'll approve you into the group and you can access all of that. I'd love to see you win in your business. And like I said, all those resources in there are free. As I always say, go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires than excuses. I'm looking forward to connecting with you in the group, serving you well in there. And whatever you're doing, have a fantastic day. Bye for now.